Okay, let's work on Plum Tree Blocking System. So I usually do this blocking system more as a deflecting or a kind of a yin or bringing the energy in towards me type blocking system. So that way, if the punch or the strike's coming in, you're kind of yielding to it, yielding, and then you can put energy or more yang type power into the other side. So we're going to start, for now, let's start from position. Then you're going to bow, come up, bow, step out. Okay, and that would be the formal way of starting your blocking system. From there, block up with the knife edge or the palm edge. Excuse me, the knife edge going up, but make sure your palm is facing straight forward. Try and have this somewhat rounded. Okay, and you think about when you go up, you're almost sticking to the incoming force. So it'll come up and be a little bit rounded, not striking up or striking up like in the 8-point, but up. And then from there, block down with the palm. And this is sort of a little bit of a rounded type motion with the palm part of your hand down. You're never blocking really with the fingertips on any of these blocks. You're more using the palm or the forearm part. Okay, then ridge hand block. So when you do the ridge hand, the thumbs across the hand, this part's here, and you're doing the ridge hand side of the forearm. And when you block, you usually use your body to turn or yield to the incoming force. Rather than blocking out with, like the 10-point goes more outward, the plum tree should deflect or yield towards you. And then from there, palm across, dragon hand block. Okay? On the palm block across, don't just do the palm. Think about the whole forearm, and I turn my waist a little bit. Dragon hand pulls a little bit. It touches with the knife edge, and then the fingertips wrap. Okay, so knife up, okay, and this is all be rounded. Okay, palm down, and I usually use my weight a little bit and drop a little bit, bending my knees. Ridge hand. Make sure the hand's turned over a little bit, not necessarily straight up and down. This actually helps you guide an incoming strike. Okay, guide and kind of drop your weight a little bit into it. Then palm across. Turn the waist, palm and forearm. Then the knife edge comes across, and then the fingers wrap around. I tend to do on my dragon hand, rather than using my thumb, I tend to use just the fingers, and especially the last two fingers, so baby finger, the next one, so that way your thumb doesn't get stuck on something. You can slip off and strike easily. Okay? But there can be different ways you do the dragon hand. Palm up or knife edge up, palm down, ridge, palm across, dragon hand. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon hand. So those are the first few blocks in the plum tree. The knife edge, notice it's rounded. Imagine that you're kind of sticking. You're not so much striking the incoming force, but you're kind of sticking to guide it. I could actually, if I use footwork, I could then turn and yield and then come in with a strike with it. Okay, so the knife edge, palm, ridge. That way I can be turning for this side coming out with the strike. Palm across, dragon hand. Notice I'm guiding them in so I can use the other side to strike. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Okay, so the next 4 blocks will be they're actually the same blocks. You just repeat them 4 times, and they're downward palm blocks. So think about going, this is like 6 o'clock, this will be like 12 o'clock, and they circle. Down, palm, downward. Okay? So I'm making sure that I'm blocking with the palm, but also the forearm. So I could be catching the incoming force with my forearm, and I could guide it by with the palm and the turning of my body. So I would block downward. Right? So you hinge around. If I make it smaller, I'd be hinging from my elbows. If I make it a little bigger, I'll be from my shoulders, my waist, and my elbows are going around. One hand is circling. Okay, so one hand is circling. Notice it's not like right against my body. It has an angle, like a wedge angle out from it. So it would circle. The other hand, if I was just doing the other hand, it circles. And I'm using the palm for part of the forearm and the hand. And these would circle. One's high, one's low. One high, one low. Turn, making it fluid, yielding by. So when I turn my body, this yields by. If I was half mooning with it, you tend to do it where you yield by, yields by. Okay? Any of these blocks can be used as strikes also. This could be a circular palm striking outward and downward. Okay? So a lot of them give you even the ridge hand in the beginning part, or the knife edge going up, or the palm strike going down. Any of them can be used for striking. Okay, so let's do it from the beginning. Bow, and if you can't get fairly low, come back up, bow, step out, knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon hand. And I started with my right hand. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon hand. Then from there, my right hand does downward palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice my hands didn't come back to the elbow position. So again, if we're doing the palm blocks, it's right, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can practice just those blocks individually in terms of one-handed or continuous. It is a continuous flow with the plum tree. It's more of a Kung Fu or Shaolin type blocking system. It's a little more Chinese, more softer, but yet it's powerful because of the way you can bring the person's energy towards you and then be able to strike them as they're still coming in. So from the beginning, knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Downward palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. From there, upholding hand. I usually do the first upholding hand with the palm facing towards me. So the back of the hand is outward. And then the other side does the same thing. So that's 1, 2. And then upholding hand with the palm outward, okay? And notice it comes, and I do it as a circle. You could do an upholding hand outward as you're reaching out and going forward, but you can also blend. You could be blending with the incoming force, how you move in, and you can also add it with different blocks too to make kind of a phase type motion. But blend with it a little bit. So if it's my right side, it'll go across a little bit, almost like I'm throwing something across that shoulder, but make it smooth. So if I just do it's good to do just the ones with the palms facing in first, make it circular. So basically this hand is sort of moving in a circle, but I use this as a guide. The thumb and the almost like an open tiger mouth, I use that as a guide by. So it comes up and guides, almost like if you had the sights in something and you're trying to sight something and look through it. If you do the same thing a little bit with a punch, you might sight the punch coming in. You're not trying to catch it, but then you have the rest of your arm that can blend with it. And you would move your body and relax and blend with incoming force. That's one of the ways, that's the way I use it. It can be used a lot of different ways. Okay, so you did your downward palms, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you do your upholding hand, palm facing towards you, palm facing towards you, palm away, same thing, it blends. You have the sight and goes past, my right arm goes over my left shoulder, and then same thing, palm out. Okay, so if you're practicing these, I would do palm in, circle, turn your waist a little bit, move your body, try and make it fluid and circular. Okay, so nose shot and then palms facing out. Okay, and remember, when you're doing it from a horse stance or a stationary position, the blocks are just made in a certain pattern so you can remember to practice all of them. They can also be used as you move and do different types of movement with it, and actually practice going in with different strikes or adding different blocks to it. So a lot of your blocks are used to have some type of footwork and some type of evasion along with the block movement. Okay, so let's do it from the very beginning. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Downward palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Upholding hand with the palm towards me, 1, 2. Palm out, 1, 2. I usually just count them 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. The next block downward will be a circular type motion where I do a cutting hand, just like the palm block down, but this will be the knife edge like a sword. Think of this being like a sword that comes down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so if you look at it from here, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, and if I just do more of them, it's circular this way. It's not like this. It has a wedge feeling to it. If I did both of them at the same time, it almost makes a wedge motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, if there's incoming force, you're trying to cut it by you as you strike out. A lot of times at the same time or close to the simultaneous movement. Okay, so it really works on being able to move and strike at the same time. Okay, so cutting knife down, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I started that with my right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do just the one hand, it cuts. You notice there's no stops. It's a circular motion. I do just the other hand. It's a circular motion. My waist can kind of move with that motion. So that actually, when you move your waist with that motion, it helps you learn how to use footwork. So you're not just kind of stuck in place and then you're trying to move your feet. It actually helps blend that all together. Okay, so from the beginning. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Palm down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Upholding, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cutting knife, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then from there, instead of just using the knife edge kind of brushing by, we're going to do the back of the arm deflecting. So this would come up 1, 2, 3, 4. Same thing, you can make it very small or you can have it a little bit bigger. I usually make them a little bit bigger at first, but it's continuous flow using the back of your arm, okay, the whole back of the hand and the back of the arm here. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4. You're making it a continuous motion, okay? It's almost like the propellers in an old prop plane. All right. So let's do it again. Let's do it from the beginning here. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Palm down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Upholding hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cutting knife, 1, 2, 3, 4. Deflecting, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, if you look at it from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm turning my waist so that I can step in and strike. You're making yourself a smaller target, and being able to move and turn. All right, and then it's just deflecting and blending with the incoming force. You could be stepping back and doing it, but you can also be moving towards them and deflecting something off. From there, we'll go into, we'll do from the deflecting hand, we'll go into the monkey. 1, 2, 3, 4, then monkey. 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're doing the monkey, for now, we're doing it double hands so that you learn how you can trap in. I can catch somebody on the wrist, and I can catch somebody up in the elbow. I can use these as catching somebody in the neck, so it could be actually a strike type motion too. So these will come in towards me, and I drop my weight. Notice I'm not just using my hands or my fingers. I want to use my wrist too. It's really the wrist that's coming in, and it's dropping it with the weight. So I want to... And I don't necessarily, I'm not pulling them towards me this way. They're still downward a little bit. Your elbows are kind of up so you can hook onto something. Think about a monkey, hooking and grabbing onto a tree branch and how it hangs with its weight. So you go out, about shoulder height or so, ear height or so, and drop. 1, 2, 3. Notice they circle way out a little bit. Don't have your shoulders tight. And 4. Okay, from the beginning. Okay, then from there, so those are the monkeys coming in, elbows up, make sure your shoulders aren't tight, make sure that you're thinking about hooking onto something, and remember they can be used in conjunction. I can I can block with one part of it and then hook in with something else, and even use the monkey strike to the side of the neck or something as a hook and grab. So all of them can be used as as blocks, and then you could climb up the person with strikes. Okay, so from there, you're gonna do pressing palm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and the reason why you're doing 4 of them is so that you kind of get the feel of the movement. But to get actually the feel of the movement, I would do more than that when you're first learning them or practicing them. Okay, now I have this as, rather than pressing down and across, which it could be, I have it as kind of more of a, the energy's coming towards me and I press it by. Okay, so I press down and across, maybe as I'm coming in with a strike. All right, so you're gonna go follow this hand. As this hand comes into elbow position, as it comes in, this side of my body is coming back, and this side is pressing down and across a little bit. So that's 1. This side's coming back to my elbow position, and 2. And you really shouldn't be able to see my other hand in elbow position. It should be almost like it's hiding it. Okay? 3, 4. And it circles a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would be using my pressing palm. It's not just what I do with my arm, it's also how I move my body with it. Okay, so right hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and make sure that this comes down and across. And your application, doesn't have to necessarily go right straight back. It's how you learn how to use your energy to guide the other person's incoming force. So you're kind of guiding it or deflecting it or yielding it off to the side. So by pulling this back, you're using your whole body and you're using your energy from your center all the way down to the center of the earth. Okay, so from the beginning. Make it all nice and smooth. Almost like, think like your hands move, almost like the brushes in a paintbrush. So that the brushes, if they're gunked up and they're stiff and they're doing all kinds of weird motion, it doesn't make it as smooth. What the fingertips do, and they describe what kind of the rest of your body does. Okay? So make sure that you're very aware of what the hands and the fingertips are doing, because then it'll be it mirrors out into what the center does and the whole body does for power. Cutting knife. Deflecting, monkey, pressing palm. And we're going to do the scissor hand. I'll do it a little bit different than some people have, but you do a cut up from here. So you do your left hand, does like a knife hand block. Then this hand goes down, around, like you're hooking on the other side of their elbow or their arm. This arm will rotate and trap in or strike in, like you're separating the joint. So I did from the pressing palm, knife hand, like you're blocking a strike, circle this hand. So you end up getting a lot of flexibility with your wrists and your hands. Okay? And strike. And you try and strike across your hand a little bit so that you're not striking the fingertips. Okay, you're doing it more of an angle across the palm. Okay, so we did this press. Then from here, you're going to block out with the right. It goes down, around, without moving your whole arm a whole lot. Try and get it where this, can work with ease without having to move your whole arm to get your hand to move. Here, around on the other side of their arm, and then rotate and circle and get your energy into that strike there. Okay? And if you're applying it, it might be that you're trapping it or blocking something and then trapping in. Okay? So you're scissor handing it. You can actually do a scissor hand more extended also. Okay? So from the pressing palm, this is coming in and closing. Left hand, circle around, strike. Right hand block, circle around, roll this, and strike. Then from there, and then it's a scissor hand. So you should be able to do it either the way I'm showing you, to trap in, or you also learn to do it, like I said, simultaneous. All right, scissor hand. Okay, from the beginning. Then from there, long hand, dragon hand. Out, out. So this goes long hand, like you're blocking them, think like you're blocking up by their shoulder area. The hand blocks in here, and then the fingertips kind of lead them. So you want to have your whole, it's what your wrist does too a little bit. It's also a little bit snaky. But you go out, and then the dragon hand actually then can hook onto them, and you can pull them if you needed to. But long hand, dragon hand will go in, and a lot of times it can go inside or outside their strike. So it could go in. If it goes inside, it tends to move and moves their balance because of the way you lead with your fingertips from your whole center out. So you do your scissor hand, and long hand, dragon hand, long hand, dragon hand. Okay, so let's do it from the pressing palm. Scissor hand, long hand left, long hand, dragon hand, right, long hand, dragon hand. So this is and when you use these, you have to usually be going forward. If you're going back with it, if I'm leaning back and trying to do my long hand, dragon hand, their strike will be able to usually hit you. So you got to be able to either apply it by moving this way or by moving forward with it straight on. Okay, so scissor hand, long hand, dragon hand, long hand, dragon hand. From there, bring your legs together, the arms cross, they come up over your head, bring them around, and bow. Okay, so let's do it from the scissor hand. Scissor hand, long hand, dragon hand, long hand, dragon hand. Notice the fingertips, the wrist moves. I could pull them in. Okay, I have that in like 4 pinion as a pull in before I do a kick. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's exactly the way you have it or anything, but it doesn't matter. You want to do the long hand, that's the way we teach it in our 4 pinion. Across, up, around, and bow. Okay, from the beginning, Plum Tree Blocking System. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Downward palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Upholding hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cutting knife, 1, 2, 3, 4. Deflecting, 1, 2, 3, 4. Monkey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pressing palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Scissor hand goes out, left hand, scissor hand, long hand, dragon hand, long hand, dragon hand. Legs come together. This will come up and around, and bow. Okay, let me do it once from the side. Knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. Downward palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Upholding hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cutting knife, 1, 2, 3, 4. Deflecting hand, 1, 2, 3, 4. Monkey, 1, 2, 3, 4. Pressing palm, 1, 2, 3, 4. Scissor hand, long hand, dragon hand. Okay, remember you can do any of them singular too. You know, you can just practice, you can half moon forward, you know, just do your, knife, palm, ridge, palm, dragon. You can move back with it. You could do just go forward, knife, knife, going upward. The palm across. So you can, to get the flow of the ones that are moving this way, I would just break them down and do them so you're not stopping and going one hand, the other hand. Get it where it flows, because that's what you want to have happen when you're actually doing striking, is to have it where you can flow right into the movements. That's what was built into the Shaolin Kempo, was being able to be the hard, soft. And this is a little bit more, a lot of times, the way I do it is a little bit more working towards the yielding or the soft aspect. It doesn't mean it's weak. It actually means it's from the internal and from the body movement and using their energy against them. Okay? All right. Good luck with the Plum Tree Blocking System. It's one of my favorites.